What do you think? What do you want to touch base on first? You want to touch base on this like Twitch debacle that happened?
Yeah, the old debacle. Yeah, I'm super down to talk about that. I think there's probably a lot of people out there, and I'm sure we've both individually talked about it quite a bit in the meantime as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since it's occurred, but general consensus, I think, across the board is just like, Vince and I talked about it a little bit too, is like not great, definitely not what you want to see. And it kind of fits that trend line where Twitch has been going, for the past, like, what do you say, like year and a half or so, where they're kind of just making
Yeah,
decisions
God,
that
I
are
don't know.
just not
Maybe
good.
it's even been longer than that when it comes to like the creators and like they already backed off. They're like when it came to like people's splits
Yep.
and like them like obviously putting more ads out onto the platform. Like they just recently cranked Turbo's price up, right? Um, and
The
then they
agenda,
end up
right?
like dropping all this with all these different rules they're trying to implement. And like what's funny is I don't know if you've seen this, but like they came out and they came out with the things where it's like what exactly was the wording on it? It's basically like any of the advertising that happens on any channel on Twitch, like Twitch is like they're gonna claim that they own it, and that on top of that, it's like if you're working with an individual sponsor, then it's like there's all these different rules that they just implemented. Like you can't have a logo on your screen that's more than 3%. You can't run an
Yeah.
ad on your stream. You can't. Basically, they started implementing all these different things that are going to make it just way more difficult as a creator to be able to work with sponsors. And like it really seems like a couple different things like they were thinking about were going on. Like one, um, is it that like they want to make it so hard for streamers to work with sponsors, or like that the sponsors are going to go through them, and then going to go through things like bounty board um,
It's a good point.
or like that Twitch is gonna have to be the ones that like negotiate all that. Like,
Right.
are you gonna have like an agency you negotiate with Twitch when it comes to your own sponsors on your channel?
Right. Now they'll add just another step in, right? So you got to go through from you to agency, then agency through Twitch, then Twitch to that. Yeah, that is yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that's a good way to put it. With that bounty board program, you wonder like how do those opportunities end up in there? So they must already have companies that are doing that instead of like shopping around with the agencies or the streamers, they probably just go right to Twitch. So
Right.
like you said,
So
it
I'm like, are
probably
they
is
trying to grow
furthermore
that out
pushing
more?
that.
They're gonna try to make it so that you can't have your own on your own channel eventually. Like, I know that they tried to backtrack and say this, right? So the thing was this, so they released all of those things. And the other thing was in there that was like the simulcasting, which is like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
absolutely absurd.
That affects
That
you with the TikTok as well?
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
and
So
TikTok's still good to
any
go with the
mobile
summer.
based, any
It's
mobile
okay.
based streaming platform you can use. So like
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram,
Yes.
right? You can use those.
Just no Rumble,
But
Kick, YouTube.
no, no, like you couldn't do Rumble, couldn't do YouTube, couldn't do Kick, couldn't do like Facebook, couldn't do
Okay.
anything that's web based, right? Um, and the reason it's like, so anyone, my people might be wondering out there, like, well, so why do they not care about like TikTok or like you can do it to Instagram? It's because they don't see TikTok as or Instagram as a direct competitor to themselves,
Right,
right?
right.
They see it as like mobile content and something different, so they're
Yeah,
not worried
yeah.
about it in that way. Um, and then on the other side, it's they're like obviously they see those other platforms as a threat. So Kick, Facebook, YouTube. Like I don't even know like how much Facebook is still
I think
doing.
yeah, they're still there,
They're
but
still
I think
streaming, but it's like
they're
it's
close
kind
to
of
the
like
end.
they're like chilling,
I think the
Um,
app is gone, all that. So it's pretty much just a website.
which yeah, I can see that being the case for like a partner. But even then, honestly, like even then, I think that it's just absurd because like these other platforms don't do that. Kick doesn't do it. YouTube doesn't do it. Right?
Right.
Like if you're someone over on YouTube, you have your YouTube channel. They don't care if you stream to Twitch at the same time. They don't care if you stream
Oh,
to Kick. They
is
don't
that
care
true? Yeah, okay. I
if
wasn't
no,
sure
they don't
about
care.
that.
They literally don't care. And
I
the
knew
only
Kick did it,
way
but I wasn't sure
is
about
if you
YouTube.
have an exclusive contract with them,
Right.
right?
So if
Which
you're like
and that's
Courage or
very few
Tim or
people. That's
Dr.
very
Lupo, those guys.
yeah, that's very few people at this point. So like you said, yeah, like Courage or Tim,
The guys who
Dr.
left
Lupo,
Twitch,
those sort of
right? Or
guys,
YouTube, yeah.
right? that they would have like an exclusive contract so that they wouldn't be able to stream on any of their freaking
So if we streamed on
platform at the same
YouTube,
time.
we could be live on YouTube and let's say Kick at the same time.
Oh yeah, you could
No
be live on
repercussion.
YouTube, Kick. You could be
And
live
that
on
sounds-
Facebook. You could be live on Rumble. You could be live on TikTok. You can be live on Instagram. You can be live on Twitter. You can be live on
I mean,
7
yeah.
platforms that it's named easily right there. Which there's probably even more that you could go live on if you really wanted to. Right? 7 platforms compared to Twitch. Hey, if you stream on Twitch, you can only be live on our platform, and you can't be live on any of those spots that we had just named. And so, the thing is, like, I can see them trying to do that already for affiliates and partners, which they do, which personally I think is just like terrible in the long run, especially if you care about your creators. Like if you really care about your creators, you would let them stream on any platform at the same time. And here's what I see when it comes to this is it appears to me, like I don't know their thought process behind the scenes, but if you think you have the best streaming service and the best product, why would you be worried about your people streaming to other platforms at the same time? Because if you have the best service and you have the best product and you stream to these other platforms and people find you on those platforms, aren't they going to be like, oh, well, this Twitch thing's the thing. I'm just going to go over there because it's obviously the best, right? Like it has, you know, it has all these things, the integrations or whatever you think is great about your platform, right? If you think that your platform's so good, right, why are you so worried about us streaming to other platforms? Because what it looks like to me is Twitch knows that these other platforms are better, and if streamers start streaming there and they start building up an audience, they're going to be afraid of the fact of, wait, these guys could just leave and go to YouTube and it's a 70-30. They could just leave and go to Kick and it's a 95-5. If they start doing well over there, we're screwed. That's how I see it. Because if you really believed in your platform, if you really believe in your product and your live stream, why would you be so worried about us streaming somewhere else?
I agree. I think that's a great point too, because like you said, if they think they're the best, they should just be confident in their product and know that people will.
If you got the best product, then what's it going to matter?
Because
Because they will come to your side rather than these other ones.
And I tell you, based on
they
what
don't
I've-
have the best product. That's why. Yeah. that's why. In the long run, they're
if they let you do the simulcast, like I probably would, like just hypothetically speaking, if you could do it on multiple platforms at once, I could even see myself doing that, but still probably utilizing Twitch as the main chat that I would like interact with and work with, you know? So it kind of seems like it would even benefit them more because then you'd get more traffic driven to Twitch because people are like watching elsewhere and they're like, oh, but he's not really checking this chat, so I got to go to Twitch to talk in their chat. And then that's how Twitch, you know, does well through the customers and the consumers, you know? And the other thing too is like they keep adding weird things, like you're saying, like with these new changes and these new deals. It's like, why don't they add more things to the website in terms of like discoverability? Like YouTube, we talked about this the other day. YouTube's so great because you have everything under one roof. You have shorts,
and you have way more opportunities for
live
discoverability
streaming,
on YouTube other than just getting to a top of a category. And like something to touch on for people out there real quick.
Yeah.
What I just talked about is under the circumstance, I would say even for affiliates and partners, this should be the case. With the new Twitch rules, even if you're not an affiliate or a partner, right? Even if you're not an affiliate or a partner, you don't have a sub button, anything. You're just streaming to this website. They're not going to let you stream to this website and stream to other web-based services like YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, like Twitter, like any of those at the same time. You can't stream them at the same time if you even stream to Twitch at all. Like that's in their rules. How absurd is that? That you're not even a partner or an affiliate, and now they're going to try to tell you that you can't stream to Twitch and other platforms at the same time. Are you out of your mind?
Somebody at Twitch is very salty that Ninja started doing that because that could be the only explanation in my mind why they would do something like that.
It is the most absurd
because
thing.
Ninja relinquished the partnership and like was like, I don't want to sign a deal with you guys. I don't want to just stream for Twitch. I don't even want the sub button. I want to stream everywhere at one time. Yeah. And before that, nobody did that shit. Twitch didn't care. They're like, "Yeah, fuck it. You're not gonna last doing that. Go ahead." And then as soon as Ninja did it, they were like, "Oh, damn,
he's probably
this
doing
is working
better.
really good.
He's probably he's probably doing better. Like off of
hit
this
the
fact
red button."
Then,
you know?
Yeah. It's just absurd. That is like the most absurd thing. It's like, bro, eventually, what's gonna happen? People aren't gonna use your platform. Your platform is gonna die.
Someone in chat says if you're not under any kind of contract, you can't really enforce anything, and that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. How are you gonna enforce that?
Well, yeah, like in their terms of service, it says they
just
could
gonna
probably
ban
do
all
whatever
these
they want to
accounts?
do. But there's no way they do. I mean, it's just like the DMCA's. Like,
you
you know,
got-
a 4-viewer streamer is probably not going to get a DMCA claim.
How many employees you got at Twitch are just going to be constantly going through everybody's channel, being like, "Oh, is this guy live on YouTube at the same time? Is he live on Rumble at the same time? They're fucking going to check,
fucking
they're
probably
check
use
all
AI
these
or
all
some
these people
crazy
out here.
shit now to
Like,
do
what
it,
the
right,
hell? This
Right.
is absurd. It's so damn absurd. This is absurd. That
See,
is
I think
insane.
that's what's really attractive. I actually thought that if you were live on YouTube, you weren't allowed to simulcast, and that is like another thing on YouTube
No.
that just makes it
Bro,
increasingly more attractive.
Any
as well.
other platform you can simulcast at the same time. They have you come to Twitch and sign an affiliate deal to fucking screw you. I'm
Do they
telling
do
you,
ads
everybody
on
out there,
YouTube? Like, do
you
you get paid for
the
ads?
affiliates out there, when you signed that affiliate deal, you fucked up. Fuck your
Oh,
affiliate
dude,
deal.
I
do
think the
do
affiliate
the kick
was
thing.
bad,
Get
yeah.
out of the affiliate deal and stream to every platform at the same time because your discoverability on this platform is terrible. It's
Right.
terrible. It's terrible. How do you get discovered on Twitch? You don't. You have to be in the top
don't,
5,
yeah.
top 10 creator in a category to get discoverability on this platform. And they
And
have you
that's-
come here, and then they shackle you with these affiliate contracts that aren't worth shit, and then you're
Right.
fucked. Like,
Right.
you can't build as easily as you could.
I also
Don't-
think that Twitch
affiliates out there, you're getting scammed. You're getting scamazed. I'm telling you, you're getting
yeah,
scamazed.
Yeah, you're just getting locked into one platform on a false pretense of like earning money, right? Because like I'd imagine that majority of affiliates, I'm sure there's some affiliates that find a moderate level of financial success as they climb towards partnership, but I feel like most are blinded by the allure that they can make money, but they don't understand is exactly what Viss is
I
saying.
wanna
If you're
touch on
all
what you just
over, if you're all
I want to
over
touch on what you just said
everywhere,
because
you know
I've
what
had
I
this
mean?
realization.
You're all over everywhere. You're going to get noticed more, possibly on a more larger scale, which will then in turn result in more financial gain. But the kind of the escape or like the void that Twitch pulls is like, well, we're going to allow you to monetize. So you subconsciously are like, well, I'm going to make the most money on Twitch if I can monetize. So I'm going to go to Twitch and do it on Twitch. But it's kind of like a
fucking
conundrum.
tricking you, man.
Yeah, it's like
They're
a carrot on a
tricking you,
treadmill. They're
dude.
like, just keep running after the carrot on the treadmill. But like, you're like, dude, if you weren't on that affiliate contract and you were simulcasting like Viss says on 7 websites, you might have blown up 10 years ago rather than, now or something like that. So that's the other thing. It's like a guy's
Okay.
a financial gain.
Ham, how many? Let me ask you this: what is like when you're not a top like 5 channel in a category that you're playing in right now, like if you're not top 5 or top 10, okay, how is your discoverability? How many followers do you end up getting in that like stream? Do you know?
Oh, dude, yeah, I think I'm also probably not a great example of that due to the fact that I like do PUBG as well.
No, you're a
which is
great
little bit
example
okay.
because
So like for
because
instance,
not
I'd say
every
like 1
single
to 200 maybe a day, like, and that's like being generous. Like sometimes it could be like 40 or 30 or 50 or something like that. But yeah, it's not
Right.
it's not a lot. It's not a lot of followers.
Okay, now out of that, what percentage do you think of that just came from just random people stumbling into your channel, and not them actually finding you from something else?
Oh, probably like, I'd imagine probably like 10% or something like that.
Okay, so even if it was the 200
Like a random
number,
Twitch
that means
viewer, right?
20 people, and for a channel your size, right? 20 people, bro. 20 people.
That's not on a daily
Think about
basis,
it.
right? And I'm there for
And
8
that's
hours.
for our
you know?
size.
That's
Because
8
guess
hours,
what?
too.
Me
Yeah.
and Ham are about the exact same on that, right? And me and Ham, like we can get into a top 10 in the category. If times are really good and like if things line up properly, I can get into a top 5, right? But like on a top 5, that number is going to go up, right? But even at a top 10, so you're like 1 row down in the directory. I mean, 200 people, and how many of those people are actually coming from Twitch? I don't think it's that many. It's a small percentage. If you're 3 rows down, you're probably almost getting nothing from like the Twitch discoverability, right? And so this is a thing for everybody to think out there, like smaller creators. You got to think about this. If you're not, how do you think if your game plan is
when you think of it like that.
I'm gonna just start streaming on Twitch? How are you gonna get found? How are you gonna rather than thinking about, oh, bro, I need to get to a sub button and an affiliate as fast as possible so that I can get subscribers.
Right.
Bro, how you need
You shouldn't
more
even be
people
thinking
to
about the money
find
then.
you first, man.
Yes,
You
you
need
should be
more
worried
people
about
to
followers,
find you.
viewers,
And
yeah.
so when you sign an affiliate deal that locks you into only streaming on this platform,
No one's
you
gonna
just
find you.
hamstringed the giant discoverability possibility that you have to streaming to any of these other platforms at the exact same time. You hamstringed yourself, right? And guess what? Like, I'm trying to help you guys out here, anybody out there that's listening to this. You're hamstringing yourself by doing that. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't do that. That is
We're
a
not
terrible
bashing affiliates or
that's
like
a terrible
anything of that
strategy.
way.
It's a terrible strategy. Don't do that. And God. So the thing is this is what I've come to realize. I think the vast majority of people
Talk to me,
on
Viss.
Twitch, the vast majority of people, it's like everybody is chasing that top 5 in all the games. Everybody's chasing it. Everybody's after it, and they're like, everybody's like, bro, if I can just break in there, like, that's my chance. I can get it discovered. And I think a lot of people focus on that. And so many people focus on that thing, and it keeps you in the same spot, because it's like, if you can't break into there, how are we going to break into there? You need to be focusing on all the other ways. And that's the thing about some of these other platforms. They have more ways for you to get found, especially YouTube, right?
And
Where-
why do you think Twitch hasn't done that? That's my biggest question with
Well,
Twitch is like,
they
why
see
do they like the
with
pyramid
their
scheme
system,
model? Does that
exact-
help them
yes.
make more money? The
They
higher
do
viewers,
like that
more
model.
ad payments,
It's like
more
people
sub
chasing
payment,
almost
right?
a lottery or something.
Right,
It's like
right.
people are like, oh, bro, if I can just get to here, then I'm gonna, like, channel can explode.
You see how many
right?
subs he has? If I could do that 1 month,
Yeah,
you know, or like
that.
something.
So
like,
they
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
everybody chasing this extremely small. I mean, it's a top 5 in a category on Twitch is like the top 0.0000001% of Twitch streamers. You know what I mean? And so everybody's watching the top streamers, and everybody's thinking to themselves, bro, like, if I can get to here on Twitch, then like, boom, I'm set, right? And the thing is that's like a completely unreliable way to consistently grow as a channel. And I think that so many people actually focus on that. I think the vast majority of streamers, they have that mindset where it's like they're constantly thinking, bro, I'm just trying to get to here. When you really could be thinking about what are like the consistent ways that I could grow reliably, even if it's like not an absurd thing where I get to a top 5 category and just blow the hell up.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Sorry, I just like stuttered there for a while. I couldn't get the words out. I totally agree with you what you're saying, and I guess that's the other thing too is like Twitch you come to the conclusion at this point that Twitch just has to like that model. You know, it might be that revolving door system that they're used to, and it helps their website, you know, not only financially but also maybe with user counts or like something like that. You know what I mean? And without that lack of discoverability, like Viss is saying, when you lock yourself into the ability to possibly hamstring by, you know, Twitch's TOS, you're going to have a lot harder time growing on Twitch because, well, simply there just is no way to grow on Twitch. Like, I think the era of, like, grinding out a game on Twitch, you know, maybe it comes again. I don't know if it ever does, but I feel like that boat was, you know, in 2018. So really right now it's kind of shifted from, like, back then the phenomenon was like making money off of content. Now, like, it's so easy to make money off of content that it's almost going back to like being viral again. Because if you go viral with all the ways of monetization, or if you just increase your reach with all the ways of monetization these days with live streaming or just content creation in general, the money's going to follow. You know, I feel like at the one point you could be like, have a lot of followers, viewers or whatever, but your channel might not be of that, you know, that monetized. But now it's so easy to monetize it that it kind of seems like the easy choice, as Viss has been saying, is to not lock yourself into something, especially if you're smaller. And explore those
100%.
options, be a little bit more confident in your ability to get discovered and hold out a little bit. And then in the long term, that is probably going to be more beneficial for you than the quick, like, let me grab a sub button real quick mentality.
Well, straight up, I know, like, I think that's another thing too. Is like, if you're smaller, right, it's not a good plan. Bro, I think if you're big, it's not a good plan. Like,
Right,
like
or if you're like our size and in this stage right
even
now,
bigger than
right?
us. Like
yeah?
the biggest of the big dogs, bro. Even the biggest of the big dogs.
I never thought of it that way. Like, you would
like-
think that even like, let's just say
like,
Nick Merckx or XQC or some of these guys that are still there. Like, you could see them benefiting from doing something more broad in terms of that.
I mean, if they were like, say they give up their partnership, right, and then they simulcast to all these other platforms,
Right.
and like YouTube, Kick at the exact same time,
Right.
I think that they probably would do better. What do you think? Like you said, it's easy to monetize.
I think that, yeah, I think based on their ability to do like UGC content with their followings, probably correct. Right. And it's crazy to think about that like, you terminate your partnership. Like, I don't know what his sub count is right now. What Nick Merckx usually has like 40K subs. So it's like, imagine just having like the balls of steel to be like, you know what? I'm fucking terminating this partnership with 40K subs. Because I know I'm going to just fucking go out there and do it anyway in like my own way. Right. And that 40K subs could, obviously maybe not in a sub translation, but in a financial translation, you could make 20% more than those 40K subs if you were across all platforms, or maybe the amount of subs you get on 2 platforms will be way more than the amount of subs you get on 1 platform. Like I don't know. I feel like the simulcast would be good for like just the overall numbers. I don't know if one platform.
Well,
do you think
the
that
other
one
thing to
platform
think-
inevitably
hey,
takes the back seat?
I know you brought up subs, but the thing is, if they like, what's the biggest revenue stream for bigger streamers, mid to big size streamers?
Probably ads. Yeah.
It's the sponsorships, right?
Yeah, like sponsorship ads.
Sponsor. So if you're able to grow your audience more by streaming to multiple different platforms, right? Then like you're gonna get
Paid more for-
sponsorships. You're gonna have bigger sponsorships.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think, like even for the big creators, it's like the subs are not their biggest source of income. The biggest source of income is a sponsorship.
True. You know what? That's true. I think I was looking at it in a light of more of my perspective, more where like I'm on the bubble of like where like a brand deal is very beneficial and good, but I think where somebody like me is where like the sub would be more of my main style of income. So, I guess on that very large scale, yeah, the numbers that they probably get for brand deals are probably pretty crazy. So it does make sense from that perspective that it would align like really well with that style, and it kind of shows that it doesn't matter big or small. Maybe Twitch has just had us in the system for so long now that like
I think that a lot of people don't really haven't thought about it enough. I don't think they really think about it.
Because I'm even now us talking about it, thinking about it, I'm kind of like, shit. I didn't see it that way, or like I didn't think of it in that perspective. And now, just from us talking about it, now everything's churning. I'm like, it is interesting when you break it down and look at it that way.
Yeah, God, there was some. It slipped my mind. I was about to say something, but I can't. It slipped my mind right then. But yeah, I don't know. I think people don't think about it. I think that.
So YouTube.
Oh, I know. Remember, this is my question.
Lay it on me.
Okay, when you got into Twitch, when you first got into Twitch, what was one of the reasons you started wanting to do like live streaming and do this so that you controlled what you were able to do?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Was that one of the big factors?
Yeah,
Because
I was like at the time when I discovered streaming, it was a very interesting time in my life. Like I was in like I think my 3rd college at that time. Like I had done 3 years at one school. I had some personal shit go on, dropped out, went to another school, had some personal shit go on, dropped out in another school. And then that's when I started picking up gaming again, something that I had done a lot as younger. And at that moment, it was kind of like, I'm going to try streaming. And at the time, I didn't have like a huge business plan, but I was like, I'm going to try to do this stuff because like I can't see myself like working this kind of job or that kind of job, whether it be a desk job or a trade job. Like I got to figure out like my own thing. Yeah, I want to be more in control of my own destiny. So it was definitely more of like that, like you know, like I guess you could compare it to like you know, like eating ramen noodles for 3 years kind of leap, where I was just like, I'm just gonna try something
I love
fucking
that.
crazy,
I love what
you
you
know,
just
and
said
just
right
like
there.
do
I
it.
love what you
And
just
if
said,
it works out, cool. And if it doesn't, well, I'll fucking figure it out, you know.
Yep.
And like, so yeah, that's actually a
Yep.
great way to put it. Is that I guess when you
And
break it down, I did it because I just wanted to do my own thing, you know.
yeah, so that I'm right there with you, bro. Like the exact same mindset. And I think a lot of people out there, a lot of streamers out there, and a lot of just everyday people out there, you kind of got more of the maybe the entrepreneurial mindset, right? Where you're like,
Right,
you know what, I'm
right.
gonna figure out my own path. I'm gonna forge my own path and be able to figure this out. And so I have control over what's going on in my life, right? And that was probably the number one thing for me when it came to starting on Twitch. Like back when I wanted to be able to control my own fate, work on my own thing, right, and be able to produce content, make content that I had control over. And what's happened more over time is, especially with Twitch, is it's like more and more of your control is being taken away and given to the platform. You have less. They're trying to get more and more every single day, all the time. Every single time they come out with some more, there's less and less. You're getting. It's like with the brand deals, the simulcasting, the splits, like it's just a trend, and I don't ever see that. Do you ever see that reversing? I don't see that changing.
No.
If anything,
you know
it's just
an
going to
agenda.
continue. It's just going to keep continuing on and on and on, and it's going to get squeezed more and more and more. And
Yeah. It's
I
like
think
step 4 in a 10-step plan, you know, like in a corporate world, they lay it out. They're like, all right, first quarter of this year, we're going to get this done. Second quarter of this year, we're going to get that done. And then, you know, and then it all gets broken down throughout the quarters. And then, you know, so you know that they're continually moving towards, you know, an end game where like this is what they're trying to achieve, you know. So it's like, I unless something really were to change in the infrastructure of like the corporate ladder there, I don't see how it would ever revert or start going the other way. So more than likely, yeah, the needle would continue leaning in the direction that it is.
It's like as time goes on, that's going to be less and less of a thing. You're going to have less and less control over you and the content you make, and the tools that you got are going to be lessened over as well. So,
which is counterproductive.
I think
to
that's
why
something for everybody to think out there, and you know, like that's something that I kind of had to revisit and start thinking about recently too. Is like the whole reason I got into this was so that I controlled my own fate, my own destiny, and Twitch is going to make it so over time, and it's already that case right now. Like it's from when I started to now, it's already gone that way, and it's like, how is things going to be in 5 years? How are things going to be in 10 years? If like that's really what you care about and you value, then you need to figure out some other way other than just this platform, because this platform is not going to align with that if that's one of your values.
And then the way I look at it too, what I was going to say is, so now we could follow this up with that. We have, I know that Viss has made his Twitter post the other day about checking out some YouTube stuff. And Viss and I kind of dove into a little conversation about YouTube and how we both kind of came to the conclusion that it seems like the most well-rounded platform that will probably in the long term develop, you know, into the best solution, as long as they, you know, don't pull like a Twitch and start making some crazy decisions at some point, right, that are like counterintuitive to the, you know, the core of it. Do you see yourself when you're doing the YouTube? Are you planning to simulcast out there, or do you plan on focusing more on YouTube just at the start? Because I guess the one thing I wonder about simulcasting is it's got to be harder, right? Because you're on multiple platforms, and it's probably humanly impossible to like follow all the chats on all these different platforms. So as somebody who does some simulcasting, when you're doing it now currently with TikTok, like do you feel like you're able to go back and forth between the two, or does one potentially garner your focus a little bit more? I would assume maybe Twitch does.
I think that there might be some things out there that combine it all into one.
Oh,
I've heard about this before.
You're
I
right,
think that there's a chat that combines it all into one. And also the other thing is there's services out there for people to know about, what is it, like Restream.io or whatever it is?
Yes, yes. You put in one feed and then it shoots it out for you to all the other ones.
There's certain platforms, and so it's not like you have to have, you know, like 10 different OBS running, pushing out your stream to all these different platforms.
Yeah, all these different instances.
To one platform. You have to pay that platform, right?
Right, and then they'll push it out
as a service. And so you stream it to the platform, and then from that platform they push it out to all the different channels from there. right?
Sweet.
So that there's already tools out there,
They're making
and
it
as
easy.
time goes on, it's gonna get better and better. Like these things will continue to improve. Them. It's not like these are only the tools you're gonna have right now. As time goes on, these tools will get better because more people are gonna start doing this. And with how tech's going and AI's going and whatnot, it wouldn't be that hard for somebody to make something where it's put all these different chats, and like you could have like an icon when you're looking at the chat, right? This one's from YouTube, this one's from Kick, this one's from TikTok, this one's like Twitter, boom, 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 and then you can like talk to everybody and be like, hey, so and so, but like,
hey Johnny from TikTok, how you doing? Huh?
Exactly. And then people can watch on whatever platform that they want,
they
right?
Right.
And you can like. Nowadays, you got so many different ways, like you said, to monetize. You could go like with a Patreon. Maybe you could still be like, hey, come and sub on this platform. This is the platform that like where we have like our main supporters are here, or you sell merchandise. There's so many like. I think people are just like not really thinking outside the box. They've been so caught up into this like one way of doing things and gotten so comfortable in it.
I can attest to that.
And it's like now because of that, and it's like. I really think that like what's happened over time, especially like with the like Twitch, I think people start getting lazy with like how they think about things, a little bit, which people aren't like lazy, right? People aren't gonna like hearing that, but like it's lazy, complacency. Maybe complacency is the better word for it. Complacent with some things, and I just think that over time, as time goes on. Twitch ain't gonna be it, man.
Lazy works. Twitch like I'll fucking bite the bullet. I fucking got complacent and lazy. Like it just is what it is. Like, and it depends on what you consider lazy. I mean, dude, I'm still putting in 180 hours a month. You know what I mean? Like it ain't like I'm not streaming. I'm still there, but it's that's why I said the word complacent, because lazy would maybe not be streaming at all, but like complacency is like just clicking live. Yeah, clicking live and I'm sitting there for 8 hours and I'm grinding, but like you're not really grinding, you're going through the motions at that point. And when you get established and you do have a channel and a brand and a community and you are tapped into a platform that's as monetized as well as Twitch, it almost, like you said, you get stuck in that vortex of Twitch where it's so easy to just keep playing into the Twitch system that you become more blind to the other ecosystems of live streaming that exist outside of Twitch. So then that's why, since we've been having these conversations now, I've been even just getting more enlightened, like you're saying, like even just talking today with you for the past 40 minutes, because I'm like, wow, like so many new thoughts and ideas and feelings have just been popping into my head throughout this conversation, and listening to the insight and knowledgeable things that like you have said as well. I'm just like, dang, like it's true. Like, for the first 2-3 weeks, are you maybe going to take a hit? 4 weeks? Yeah, you probably will short term, but like it probably won't take long for it to spin back up and get going again. But that financial guise that Twitch puts on it makes that harder to see, What
you start to realize is that like it's like you're really actually operating out of a place of like fear, and it's almost like Twitch imposes this through like the system that they've got, and you don't really realize it.
Until you do.
Yeah,
then you can't fucking not realize
it. Until you see through the matrix, and you realize you're like, oh fuck. Yeah. All right, well,
I'm a pawn in the game.
Let me ask you this too. This is something I was thinking about just the other day. I go out on like when I've been running more recently. That's something I do a run
picking up
once
some
a week.
cardio. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, dude. This hard.
And the runner's high.
I always lifted and whatnot, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm getting good cardio from lifting, right? And then I even started doing jujitsu, and I was like, I'm getting good cardio for that, dude. There's something special about just going out and running, and like how clear you start thinking when you run. And I was thinking about, I was really thinking about some like on. I don't know how this question like popped in my head, but I was thinking about what was a time where I was like really enjoying like life the most. And it's not that I don't enjoy life. I'm really happy and freaking great the vast majority of the time. But dude, I came to realize I think my time where I had the greatest, most enjoyment was when I made that decision to leave my damn job, and I had been building Twitch, right? And the stream. And like just the daily, like every single day, like working towards your goal and trying to make it happen. Like you said earlier, with the eating the damn ramen, right?
Right.
You're eating the ramen noodles.
12-hour days.
You're just like, You're just,
Loving it.
and you're going, and bro, it was like the greatest fucking time
Love it.
ever. It was such a good time. Like when you're grinding on that daily grind, building this up slowly. And even the day you're like, you know what? Like today, like it didn't go great, but dude, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and like, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep figuring this out.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Now it's like a fear complex. Fuck, you're right.
and then what do you like? Yeah. And now it's like, it's not, it's I don't know. I started realizing like things have changed, and then, that was such a good solid point. And it's like I really need to get back
To that feeling.
to that. And
A new platform is probably definitely a way to instill some of that a little bit, at least get it flowing, you know, to get the juices flowing, as they say.
Right. And God, dude, there was one more thing I was just thinking there. Let's slip my mind for a second.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack.
No.
I was just vibing with that point.
No.
That was a big point there, and it's very true. It's very true. I think about that too, and I also think that, you know, like the game has changed a little bit as well. So it's like I think that, you know, it definitely, like you said, it's more. I feel like there used to be a little bit more collaboration, a little bit more camaraderie. People used to feel a little bit more like a coworker.
The platform was
nowadays.
well,
it's
just in general, bro.
It's like
a lot of just in general.
I feel like I got my dukes up around.
People are so quick to want to just like cut each other's throats, dude. Man, out here now, it's insane.
Yeah,
you know. But I don't think that's actually the majority of people, though. Like I think that you see. I think it's very easy to see the extremes, right? The extreme. I see it all the time. Like even when you're gaming. You know, you play with like I've been doing tons of solo queue recently. You play with like one bad person that's like a complete just shitty person. You know, there's toxic, right? And then like people will all be like, "Oh, dude, the teammates in this game," but they'll forget about the fact that, bro, we just had 9 games with like some awesome dudes. Yeah. We had great teammates, bro. And then this one guy comes on. Everybody's mind wants to always focus on the negative, right? The negative pops in everybody's mind so much.
It's hard to be positive. You know, it's easy to be negative, as they say.
I had the thing though. The thing was, I lost it again, bro. It'll come back. I
gotta stop, not chime in for a second, because I feel like you got it, and then I'm like, yeah.
No. You need to go now, because then I'll remember.
Yeah, no. Honestly, now I'm a little bit. I just had a brain fart too, to be honest, about like what we had been talking about too. As we got to get it picked back up again and get the flow flowing.
God, it escaped me, and it was like a really good. It was a really good point I was about to bring up, but damn, it slipped.
What happens
slipped
is
away.
we're getting older.
It'll come back at some point.
We got the video game rot brain a little bit sometimes. Streamer brain. Wait till you got a little Viss running around. You had a whole nother layer of brain forget. You know, you forget. You have a kid, your brain stops working as well. You know, I don't know what it is. I got the mixture of the streamer brain, the video gamer brain, and the dad brain. It's easy for thoughts to kind of just like fall asleep at 8:30 at night while laying in bed watching Tough last night. You know.
Oh damn, dude! Yeah, dude. I haven't watched the Tough episode yet for this week.
Yeah, I didn't even get to the fight last night. That's just what happens sometimes. Laid down. Forgot to, didn't even get through the fight of the second episode. The first episode, I don't know. I won't spoil it for you. I don't know if you already saw it.
I've seen the first episode.
Okay, yeah. You watched the whole thing, and then for just a quick
jujitsu on
7-second
nights.
Bink, you know, or something like that. Running. Oh yeah. Now everyone's talking about running in chat too. So now, dang, now I feel like we gotta start getting a little running.
There's something about it, bro.
Get that dopamine flowing through there.
I have felt so good since adding in like more cardio. For anybody out there, you're into fitness, even if you're not fit, bro, I'm telling you, do some exercise, man. Go and lift some weights a couple times a week, and then choose 2 days to push yourself on your cardio. Yeah. It will
I'm gonna start walking the golf course.
How you feel tremendously. All right. You're like out there, you're like, bro, I don't feel that good. I feel like I have low energy. You're depressed. I'm telling you, bro, start doing some cardio and push yourself and make it hard. And I'm telling you, like, you will be, it's almost immediate. As soon as you get done and you feel it. But then I swear, the more I've done this, the more it's extended throughout the weeks. But if I pull back, like you start losing it. So I'm telling you, do some regular exercise weekly, do a couple days of weights, couple days of hard cardio. I'm telling you, bro, it makes a giant freaking difference in how you feel.
It's not quite running, but it's a in the States, golfing, everybody uses carts. I should say everybody, large majority. But in other countries, they don't actually even have golf carts at the course. So like golfing is something that like, so I got to start. I think if I walk the course that like I would play like on a Sunday, it would be like equivalent to walking like 3.5 miles. I got to start getting some steps in there and start increasing my even just movement and kinetic movement by doing something like that, even if it's not running.
Right, right.
The cart gets comfy though, let me tell you.
How is you were streaming some of your golf, right?
Oh yeah. I've been almost doing once a week. This week I didn't do it. I've been getting a little bit not disheartened, but the setup that I have works great when things are working great. But sometimes the feed and the connection, I don't have like a very strong connection, so sometimes it's not as good. So that's why I went ahead and ordered that big old fancy backpack with like 14 modems, so I can connect anywhere in the world.
Yeah. What was your setup before?
So. Actually, here. Actually, it's disassembled, but pretty much what it is I don't know if you see the Discord, but you have a little video encoder like this.
Okay.
And then you just pretty much attach it to a GoPro.
Oh wow.
And a wireless modem, and this right.
And
here,
that's it.
That's it. These three things
Bro.
are all you need to stream like anywhere. So if you have a good cell reception, like say you go somewhere, you have Verizon and you have 5 bars of 5G, your stream will be perfect. Like, if you're sitting down and having some food, like if I took this to the city and had dinner, the stream would be perfect. But once you start getting out in the wilderness and maybe like some trees block a signal, it gets a little bit shoddy. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that all you need is a couple pieces of equipment and you could just have like a full-on IRL setup. But the one that I ordered, a little more intricate, a little bit more like, they have some like coding that they do and management and stuff to make it even like stronger. So that's pretty like, grassroots level, but still works really, really good.
The cool thing about that, like with how little of equipment you need just for that, and that will work for a lot of people in different areas.
Definitely,
like especially bigger
different
cities
countries too. If you live in Europe, where so I took this setup from you might remember the name from an old PUBG streamer. His name was Spreezy. He does this setup, and he lives in Croatia, and like I learned this that apparently like bad cell service is like an American thing. Like in other countries, I don't know if it's a size thing or if it's like a business thing because there's so many different providers, but like he said in Croatia, like anywhere he goes, he has five bars, like perfect signal. So his setup in Croatia works like great. So anybody that might be in like a smaller EU country and wanted to do something like that, that kind of setup would be like even perfect. But I guess with the way that internet as well as cell phone signals work in the States, you just get into these like dead pockets where like you don't have as good as connection or something like that.
Absolutely. But the cool thing, like, as time goes on and the tech gets better and better, eventually, dude, I mean, it probably is all this going to be from, like, your phone, and then you can connect something Bluetooth-wise to your phone, just like a camera, and, like, it's, especially, like you said, the cell services, as they get better, but also, like, something like Starlink.
I was gonna say, I think Elon is like wants to do some sort of mobile Starlink thing too. So,
dude, that would be
pretty nuts
when it comes to being able to like stream and do IRL stuff.
Right, just all from just like a singular device, just like right on your phone like that. That would be nuts. Because it's pretty crazy, like even just like single PC setup. Like now, like when you look at it to really throw down like a stream with 2 PCs, you look in an office. There's a lot of shit. I'm just looking around, 2 computers, 3 monitors, lights, camera, this and that. Like you show a common person this, they're like, that's way too much shit, to do.
Well, now, like, I think nowadays, like a single PC setup might actually be better for the most part than a 2 PC setup. Like now, I think
as long as you get no blue screens or anything, you're great. Yeah,
as long as your PC's solid. There's like a couple times I guess the 2 PC setups saved me, but the thing about that is like what happens if your stream PC is the blue screen PC?
Yeah.
If the stream PC's doing it, then it's worse.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble, man. Dude, freaking! Have you taken a look at 289 for tomorrow? I'm excited for some of these fights tomorrow.
Let's take a look.
Yeah,
we got Nunes, Aldana.
Bro, I'm really excited for that co-main.
Oliveira and Dariush.
Right? That's a big one right there.
What do you think?
Man, I think Dariush is going to win. I'm going bold, and I think that Dariush is actually going to submit Oliveira.
Really?
I said that yesterday, and someone called me crazy. They were like,
You're
dude, submitting Oliveira, but if you do, he's been submitted like 6 times in the UFC. So maybe it hasn't happened in a while. So
It was
it
one
might
of his
not happen again.
145er.
I think it might have, yeah, because it was against Sergio. I think Sergio Pettis and Ricardo Lama submitted him back in the day, and then and obviously you can't really consider Islam. He got submitted by Islam, but Islam is like a different breed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just being bold and silly, but I could see Charlie knocking him out. Dariush, he could be chinny. I feel like sometimes he's been chinned up before.
Dude, Dariush is a freaking savage, man.
He
if
is,
you go back
low-key.
through this guy's record and some of
Yeah.
the people that he's fought and beat and like how he's done it, this
Bro,
guy
his
is
only
a
losses
freaking
are like
savage.
freaky knockouts too. Like he got chinned by Alex Hernandez in the first round in like 40 seconds, just one punch that fight. And then I think he got kneed by Barboza on a takedown.
Who's got the better striking out of Oliveira and Dariush?
Man, I feel like it's got to be Charlie, but Dariush did look really good against Gamrot in his last fight, but Gamrot's not really like a big. I'd consider him more of a wrestler than a striker, so I feel like it was easy for Beneil to look good there. I feel like Charlie, you know, with the way that he sat down Chandler and Gaethje and Poirier, like if you're sitting those 3 down, I feel like you gotta be pretty freaking good at striking.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that. I could see a little right cross or something just putting Dariush's lights out. You saw the interview with Justin Gaethje? He said, like, you get hit in the face a bunch of times, and, like, you know, you get, like, a little buzz, like, when you get punched. And he's like, but when I got punched by Charlie Oliveira, he's like, it's like I put my tongue on a really large battery. He said my whole body, like, zapped when I got punched by Oliveira. So
something to it, dude.
if he hits Benny with one of those, I think Benny could go down.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny though, you see the press, dude. Like Beneil Dariush is an interesting guy. He's wearing like fucking Tiva sandals and like a bathing suit, and like Oliveira's in like a fucking fitted like pinstripe suit.
I love seeing like how fighters
totally different,
how they go about it. And
Very
like I respect both of them because like one person shows they look really damn good. They're like dressed up, they
fucking
look
suited
up,
up,
and then the other guy's just like, I don't give a shit. Like I'm showing up exactly however I feel like.
How I would show up to practice.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
like
I love it. I love both of them.
And that's what's cool about fighters. You know, their personalities could really like shine through. Speaking about just to loop together a funny point, Twitch and fighters. Somebody brought this up the other day because we talk about UFC so much. It was like Twitch doing what they're doing now is like when the UFC took away the sponsors on the shorts.
Sponsorships, yeah.
You know, like I was like, yo, that's actually a fucking great analogy. Not to bring that back up, but I was thinking about that too. Like, you know, that was a great way to exercise their personality too, when they had all their different people on their shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
Think Nunes making quick work of Aldana or what?
You know, like I think it was like, how have we ever seen Aldana go against like a really good grappler? That's what I was wondering.
I don't think so. I don't even
wait.
I feel like Aldana hasn't fought.
Dude, Aldana's last one was against Maxi.
Yeah, I don't know how to say her name.
Chiasan.
She got taken down 3 times in that fight before she knocked that chick out. So I think she was getting wrestled a little bit in that fight. I feel like Aldana, she just hasn't been that active. She's fighting like once a year for the past 3 years.
I could have swore to God that she was gonna fight like another. I swore she had fought in like.
He was supposed to fight Rocky.
She was supposed to fight Pennington. But
in May it looks like, and that was a rematch of a loss that she lost back in 2019. But yeah, she doesn't fight that much.
You know,
so I don't know.
Because it was supposed to be the rematch between Nunes and Pena. So
right?
Now Aldana got thrown in there. But I don't.
Who the hell knows? Another.
I don't think she's ready. I don't think she's ready, bro.
That's what I said. I think
Nunes
gets her out of there in the first round.
Yeah,
maybe.
bro. I think this is gonna be a tee off for Nunes straight up. Like Aldana's got good striking, but I don't think she's got like the type of power to like really hurt Amanda.
Right, I could agree with
that.
Right,
like you got to get Amanda's respect, and that's what happened when against Pena. Is like Amanda was like headhunting her, and she started dropping some bombs on her that really hurt her. Right, when Pena ended up winning, And I just don't think she's going to get that respect from Amanda. Amanda's just going to like walk forward right through the punches, probably go after her. And like, I think she can beat her standing up. And as she takes her to the ground, I think she's probably really screwed because Amanda's ground game's really solid as well. So
yeah, I don't think Aldana has good ground game.
Yeah, I like how it looks right now. I mean, Payne is the only one with a shot that I think takes out Nunes.
Have you been watching the past couple fights of Nate Landwehr, Nate the Train?
Dude, yeah, I have seen some of them. Yeah, he's been killing it.
Bro,
Nate's been freaking going off.
Right, dude, I think that's gonna be a great fight. Him and Ige. I really think that hope that Benny and Charlie get the fight of the night because I've been really anticipating that fight. But I'm not gonna be surprised if Dan Ige and Nate Landwehr sneakily take the fight of the night tomorrow. That should be a great fight, dude. Those guys are gonna scrap, I think. Curse of the Canadian too. They've been saying. I think Canadians haven't been winning in Canada, and there's a lot of Canadian fighters on this fight card. So the whole, I guess, question of the weekend is are the Canadian fighters going to choke or are they going to get some wins? I think the last Canadian fight card, not a single Canadian fighter won, if I saw the stat right.
Right.
So if you're
where is this one? Is this in Canada?
Yeah, Vancouver. I think it's the first one in Canada in a couple years, I think. Like maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Uh-huh.
Henry Cejudo coming in, Morning Report, MMA Fighting, reporting that Henry Cejudo has stated he can see Irene Aldana knocking out Amanda Nunes and predicts an upset. Does she train at, what's his name of his gym? I forget the name of his gym. Where, with John Jones and them? Is she training with Cejudo?
I'm not sure. I think I've seen her train with Cejudo before. I swear I've seen like on Instagram or some clip or something, but I could be wrong.
The Mexican MMA scene is booming right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. They've got some
Moreno,
some beasts.
Yair Rodriguez, Alexa Grasso. Like they've been putting up some belts. I mean, even the Mexican MMA fighters have been.
Even Aldana, but
right.
Amanda Nunes, bro.
I don't know. Scary fight there, right? What else do we got? Yeah, honestly, other than that, it's kind of quiet for a pay-per-view.
Shout out to Eric Anders. I always love watching Eric Anders on the card, bro. I love watching his fights. His fights are always entertaining.
I think that's one of the best underdogs on the card this weekend.
Dude, he's a dark horse. I don't know.
He's a fucking beast of a man.
Dude, I don't know if he ever makes it into like a top 5. Definitely but not. I love watching him, and I love he came from Alabama football, and now he transferred over to UFC. I mean, people, when they're always like, what would happen if a football player went and played or went and fought in the the UFC, like we've seen before with like Hardy, right?
Fucking
and how
Greg
he did,
Hardy.
But it didn't transfer. Did not transfer that
not
well
at all.
But it's interesting to watch, like when you got some like high level athletes. like a football player that was playing at one of the best colleges in the country ends up fighting, and like I love watching Eric Anders fight. Love watching him. I think it's always a good time watching.
He looked great in his last well, I don't know if it was his last fight, but one of his recent fights against Kyle Dawkins, he looked really good too. So I think that that guy he's fighting is a little chinny. He gets knocked out a lot. So I think those are big boys. They're going to throw some scrap. I think that I think Anders could actually upset that fight if he lands the right strike. I was going to say, I think Dominic Reyes played college football too. I had to look that up. That was true, but small. Like
he did. He was a safety. He was a safety
right,
somewhere.
Something like that, right?
Like at a D3, D2 school. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which
what do you say? Go ahead.
I mean, like that's definitely still like matters, but there's a different level when we're talking like you played at Alabama. Like if you played at Alabama, you were one of the
versus
top
Stony Brook.
You were one of the
state school in New York.
Biggest prospects in like the country if you make it to Alabama. You know what I mean? Like you at your school, you were a freaking savage. Like, at your high school, you were the guy. Like you were the absolute savage of the entire
like number 5 recruit in the
region.
country.
Yeah, you were the savage of the entire region if you ended up going to freaking Alabama. Like, something I was have you seen Nasruddin Imamov's fights?
I watched him. He fight a couple
Buckley
people
recently. He fought Strickland, went to a decision.
Yep. He's good. He's
TKO over Edmund Shabazian.
Right. So the thing that I think is bad for Nasruddin, and you got to
Uh-huh.
look at the details here, is that, well, who did he fight last in January, and who did he lose to?
Strickland.
Sean Strickland, who's
Right.
Chris Curtis's best friend and training partner. Sean Strickland. So you'd like to
Right.
think
And they
that
have
he
like
has the information and the
similar
game
fighting
plan
styles almost.
exactly to beat him. I could see him. He's bouncy,
question, though.
dude. He's like Hermanson. I could see him
Uh-huh.
giving Curtis problems like Jack Hermanson did if Curtis can't
Right.
cut off the ring.
Right. Here's the one thing I'd think about, because I always think it's harder to beat someone a second time after you've just barely lost to someone like them, right?
Okay.
And no matter what the sport is,
Right.
it's like if I always think that like the team that lost the first time has a way bigger advantage going into a game two, or like a second fight or anything than the
Right.
first time, because they learned, okay, this is where this person beat me. These were my weaknesses. This is how I lost. And then they're gonna fix those things, where the person who won doesn't really like learn more about how to beat that person because they just won usually. Like that's how you often see like it's hard to get 2 games in a row on someone. Now what I'm thinking is like Strickland, he has like a very pressure forward style. Chris Curtis almost has like that same type of style. Maybe Nasruddin makes some adjustments and then comes
Right.
back and ends up beating his training partner here.
Right. I guess
Curtis
it
is
could go either way
fighting
there.
fast. This is a quick turnaround because he just barely fought Gastelum April 9th. So it's only 2
Right,
months.
2 months. And
It's
he
only
got
2 month
freaking I mean, who knows if it's going to affect him long term, but he was really upset with that fight against Kelvin Gastelum because anybody who watched it in the second round, Curtis got dropped, which allowed Gastelum to get top position and land about 10 strikes that like kind of swung the decision in his favor. When you watch the tape, he got knocked out by a southpaw versus traditional headbutt. You know how the head collides always happen when one ducks in and one.
Yeah.
So he got
Yeah, I remember that,
headbutted,
actually.
incidental, knocked out from the headbutt like a flash knockout, and then woke up like on the ground. So he also did take a little bit of damage in that fight. I don't know if it will affect him here. I don't think Nasruddin is really a big power puncher, so I don't know if that'll hurt him, help him. Who knows? But he is coming off of like a loss, and he was definitely upset about that loss. So could be an emotional fight for him too. You know what I mean? Like who knows? Maybe he goes out there and knocks him out like he has a lot. I also think he's really good as an underdog in the UFC. I think he's like 5-2 or something. So he's
Right.
always like a good person to expect an upset from, especially with that freaking left hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it depends on how well Nasruddin moves around the octagon, because he trains with Cyril Gane over there in France with Fernand, right? Lopez and the MMA Factory, I think is the
Really?
the gym. Yeah, so he has that same kind of floaty style that like Cyril Gane has. You know, he's going to use a
Right.
lot of the ring, and like I said, Jack Hermanson like owned Chris Curtis with that strategy. So, like you said, maybe they have that different strategy there to get ready for Curtis.
Right.
But there's not that many fights outside of like. I feel like that fight should probably be on the main card. Like, but I think they're putting this Mike Malott guy on there because he's from Canada.
Oh, is that what? Yeah.
Yeah. So and
Well,
even
Malott actually, like, he had some good fights recently, right? What was it?
bro,
There
he's
was,
got
like, some big
100%
moment.
finishing rate in his MMA career. He is
Yeah.
he's 9-1, and I think even in his loss he got knocked out.
Every fight's been a finish.
Right. So every fight that he's been in, I think, has been a finish. Except, actually, I think I see a draw on his record all the way back in 2015.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
so
do see one.
and that the other statistic is I was doing some chatting.
Could have
with
also
some
been a
friends, as
finish,
you
no
could see.
contest or something.
Right. Yeah. The Adam Fugget guy has a 89% finish rate. So don't blink
On that, yeah. it might
during
be-
that
that's gonna
fight
be a very
tomorrow,
solid
because
fight there.
those guys got some big finishing rates. So somebody should probably, tap or nap. I would
All right,
imagine
baby.
there. But yeah, outside of that, well, I was gonna say, we might need to start doing Watching Mike a little bit later, so we
Yeah.
could give these
Yeah,
guys
I
in the
think
morning a little bit of
Maybe
time to
it's
wake
too,
up.
It ends up too early.
You
or
know,
something,
Viss and I are fucking up at the crack
Or-
of dawn when the roosters
those
are
early
crowing.
birds.
Or
the early birds out
but
here.
yeah, we might need to start bringing in some do some gaming in the morning or whatever, then link up at like that early afternoon or something for
Yeah.
like a Watching Mike, so we could get these guys on, because
Yeah.
I know. Well, hey, that's all good, because I got notes for Mike prepared and for Jen. So whenever those guys want to hop in when they're available,
Uh-huh.
we could just pick it up and roll it out without any fuss. So
Right.
I think we had a great pod though today.
Yep.
That was a very solid chat.
I remembered
talked about
what I
is
wanted
it?
to say.
Yeah, let's keep going.
we'll circle back just for this final part.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that Twitch is the hardest platform to build a presence on?
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be. I feel like it's got to be the hardest platform to build a presence on, simply for the fact that there's, like you said, there's literally no like real way to get discovered.
Mm-hmm.
So without any sort of ability to get discovered, it's just going to be like, yeah, you know, you either just get lucky, you've been here for 10 years, or you know, went so viral on other platforms that your Twitch, you know, benefited from it. But yeah, I think I'd have to agree that I think without a doubt it's probably the hardest platform to grow on.
Right. So it's just something I wanted to throw out there because I seen other people be like, when the whole Twitch thing was going on, I seen like multiple people be like, oh bro, like I don't know, like this is kind of scary. What am I gonna do in the future? And I'm like, hey, guess what, bro? You already built an audience on probably the hardest platform to do it. If you can do it here,
that the other day.
You can do it anywhere, baby. You can do it anywhere, baby.
Let me ask you something too before we close it out. Do you think that, and I'll just cut right to the chase because I don't think there's any way to ask this without just being pretty blunt. Do you think that somebody like Aiden Ross is actually bad for Kick's stock overall, and more people would actually go there if he wasn't doing what he's been doing on social media? Or do you think that that's just like the social media guys and like, people are going to go there and stream anyway, regardless if Aiden Ross is like there or not there? Or do you have any personal things? Or
people will definitely go there and stream regardless.
Right.
Maybe it keeps some people away. I haven't seen exactly what I've seen. A couple of the things, right?
And I think something just
quite
happened
frankly,
like 2 days ago. After
I think the
Twitch
stuff he's saying, it like when it comes to like, so I don't know the full context. I've only seen like the snippets.
Oh, he like told like Jake Lucky to like kill himself, and
yeah,
he's been like
don't
saying
agree
that
with
shit
that
to
whatsoever.
Hassan.
I think it's terrible.
Like, yeah, he's like doing that type of shit. Like
right.
So like, yeah, I think a lot of people are like, I would have been on Kick already if he wasn't there.
Yeah. But I think that they're lying out their ass when they say that
right.
too, bro.
It's social media
like
bullshit,
these people ain't fucking going over there. Like that's some
nowhere.
Like
They'll do fucking nothing.
Yeah, that like I think that's some bullshit. And then people are like, you're gonna have to do this, this, and this to get me over there. And it's like, why do they need to do that? You can just stream on all these other platforms that are still doing that right now. Like, what the fuck is the point? Like,
right.
So my opinion is this. It's I don't agree with that, right? But I don't agree with I don't really agree with this canceling of people and just immediately attacking people. I agree with having a discussion and a conversation and trying to find some common ground, because when you immediately go to leaping in and attacking people, and I'm not saying this what Aiden Ross, what he said. I think Aiden Ross, you go and tell someone on there to kill yourself. That's terrible.
What are you doing, buddy?
Don't agree with that whatsoever. But it's
in general.
When you immediately go back and it starts being hostility amongst two different groups, where's that going to lead to? Nothing good. Nothing good is ever going to come from that. People is going to get more dug in on either side. It's going to piss more people off, and it just creates a problem for everybody, right? It creates a problem. You want to solve a problem, you got to be able to talk to one another. Otherwise, screwed, right? People ain't willing to talk, screwed. And the other thing, I personally think we need more platforms out there that let people be like that, believe in freedom of speech. That, hey, if someone goes and says those things and you don't like it, guess what? Don't fucking support them.
Right.
Don't support them.
Right.
Don't watch their content.
Yeah,
don't subscribe.
Like Twitter
don't do any of that. Don't support them. Right. And let them let what they say. Like when you say something like that, if someone says go kill themselves, like that's terrible. Don't I'm not gonna support that either. Like this is some stupid shit.
You know,
right?
Exactly. Right.
But at the same time, I don't believe in this cancel shit either. I think that people are their own people out there. They can make their own decisions. And if you don't like something, just don't support it.
That's right. Don't give it your time and energy as well.
And so when it comes to specifically that with what it looks like Kick, I think that's because then it puts the control and everything into a creator's perspective. They can create the type of content that they want. And if people resonate with that, they can go and support it. If they don't support it. Right? And this YouTube does a similar thing with that for the vast majority of their stuff. And and platforms like Rumble as well.
I know they don't like guns and stuff like that over there,
right?
But
yeah, there's definitely some of that going on.
Censored as much as maybe another platform would.
Rumble, Twitter, That's what I believe. I believe, hey, if you don't like someone and their ideas, hey, you don't have to support it.
And you don't have to support it, and you don't have to give it your freaking energy either. You know what I mean? Like, I see
Mm-hmm.
somebody say some dumb shit on the internet. I'm just like, that guy's a dumbass. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not, like, going to start a crusade and waste all my fucking time and energy. Like, I'm too busy for that. You know what I mean? The only thing that gets that much attention for me is my family, my friends, and my community.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Outside of that, I'm not going to sit here and type 280 characters about why I think you should disappear. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm keeping it pushing. I got too much going on to chime in all that, but I'll call you a dumbass if you're being a dumbass, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like
Right.
our consensus there, and constructive conversation is always good. Yeah, I just wanted to get your thought on that because I've
Yeah.
seen a
Yeah.
lot of people say that they think kick stock's going down. At the end of the day, I think that's all just people blowing smoke on social media,
Well,
and like people are gonna go stream there regardless, and it is what it is. And if you don't like what he's saying, just don't go to his channel there, you know, and just
there's
just,
this
yeah.
thing where people like I almost think people have it in their mind that you have to think and agree and think exactly like I do in every single way. It's like, and if
Right.
there's even these small things, then it's like I
Yeah,
hate your
that's-
guts and you're the second coming of Hitler.
It's sad how
And,
society is like that in ways.
Like, bro, that leads to terrible things when you think
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like nothing good will come from that. Nothing good will come from that. That will result when people all think like that. That results in terrible things happening.
Right.
Terrible things.
Yeah,
That's
no-
not
nobody
gonna be
benefits, yeah.
That's not gonna be a good thing in the long run. You have to understand that, bro. There might be some things that you think very dearly about. There's gonna be tons of people that will never agree with you on those things. And if you
And that's
can't,
okay.
if we
okay.
can't come to the conclusion that like that's how it is, then I guess like it's not gonna be good. Like it's not good after that. But that is the case. There's gonna be people that see things differently and they will not agree with you. And if that bothers you to that point, like guess what? You don't.
Right.
That's everybody on this planet. You're never gonna agree with everybody on everything.
No.
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Like some people think you could put pineapple on pizza, and I say hell no. No.
to
Just mess-
the
mess with everything.
steak with the pineapple on the pizza, dude.
No, I was just making a joke there really quick because I feel like that's like a light one that always comes up. But no, yeah, not to make light of a very good point that Viss was making because I think that's very important. And yeah, like, you know, there's always going to be somebody that has a different opinion and somebody that disagrees with what you're doing. But at the end of the day, like, you could just be like, hey, dude, like, I don't think that's what it is. But listen, I ain't going to cuss you out or get mad at you or start a fight or just create bad hostility, toxicity, or bad energy. You know, like, agree to disagree, and we could keep it pushing as mature adults. And, you know, we just probably ain't going to talk much about that topic because it ain't going to be conducive, you know. And if we can have a good constructive conversation, great. Love to have it. You know what I mean? But if you can't, you can, and there's no need to get crazy about it, right? That's the way that I go for it too, kind of like you're saying.
It's kind of what I said, like, you know how I mentioned, like, you know, you can have like the one bad teammate, and a lot of people focus on that and forget about the fact they had 9 good teammates before that. I think it's like the same thing with ideas. It's like people want to focus on so hard on the things that you just disagree on. Like, maybe we all need to start thinking about all the things you do, because I think the vast majority of people probably agree on like 90% of things most of the time, and it's like the 10% of things. It's like those, like, people start to go so hard on those things that they, like, if you can't find common ground with someone else, like, I don't know, it's not gonna be good.
No.
Be good in the long run.
I definitely agree with you, brother.
All right.
All right, man. What's on the agenda today? Some more Apex rank grind solo?
Probably, yeah. Probably gonna jump into some Apex today, baby.
How's have they figured out the RP situation yet, or is it still a little bit I feel like I keep seeing Hal on there. He's not happy about it. Something having to do with like the way you gain points. I know you said the matchmaking shit's really good, but is
The
that
matchmaking has been better this season.
They changed the way you get points or something, so it's been a little bit stagnant or something like that. I thought I saw. I don't know though. Man.
So the matchmaking's good. Like the LP systems, definitely. I don't know. It's interesting. It probably needs some sorts of changes. I just don't know exactly what they are right now. But I don't think it's like as bad as people have made it seem either. It's become more of just like you're good, you grind. Like it's become like a leaderboard system basically. Like I think the biggest thing that's happened is like the ranks really don't matter now. It's more about just like a leaderboard. Like, if you took the same system and you just made it into a leaderboard, like, I think people would have less of a problem with it because of how they think about it. I think it's the fact of, like, they see all the rank tiers. I think if you just turn it into a leaderboard,
Bring back
like
leaderboards.
yeah, like if like the old PUBG system, like I think if it was like
H1Z1,
that,
PUBG.
I don't think people would think about it the same way. I don't think they'd have as big of a problem with it.
Leaderboards are the best. And leaderboards, in my opinion, are an abandoned metric of like grind in video games. And I don't know why developers decided to move away from leaderboards, in my opinion. But like, there was something special about going into PUBG back in the day and seeing your name on that leaderboard. There was something special about being in the H1Z1 lobby and seeing the fucking
that was
leaderboard
so sick.
on the wall
That was
as you're
so
loading
sick.
into the game. You're seeing who's done this today and that all time and that this month and that this week. Like, leaderboards were great, and I feel like leaderboards promote just such a healthy culture in the gaming. It creates more of a winning culture. People want to try. Like you said, when you get a rank, you're just like, just got to grind out these points so I could go up one notch. Rather than like, I got to win this so I can go up 5 places on the leaderboard or something like that. So, yeah, bring back leaderboards. I would love some leaderboards in games again, especially BRs. What a great game for that style of system, too.
Right. Well,
All right, brother. Well, hey.
it's been
have
good,
a
bro.
Yeah, great chat today, man. That was a fantastic one. Thanks for your insight. Thanks for the chat. And thanks for the hangs as always, my brother.
Yep, for sure.
Have a good rest of the day, buddy. And I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yep, talk to you soon, bro.
All right, Viss. Be good, bud.
Yo, later.
Later.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chilling, hanging with me in the pack today. Hey, man, if you're out there, you're new to the channel today, hit the follow button before you go. You can also follow me on the gram, TSM_Viss on the gram, Twitter, TSMViss, TikTok, Viss, YouTube, link in the chat. Hey, man, if you're out there, you know someone else that would enjoy watching the channel that doesn't know about the channel, let them know about the channel, baby. Send them the link. Tell them to tune in. If you're looking to grab any of the merch, it's on the VissWolfpackShop.com. We got all sorts of stuff on the VissWolfpackShop.com, including the Hydro Jugs to help you stay nice and hydrated this spring and summer season. You need a 70-ounce water jug. Boom. Put it next to your desk. Whether you're working, streaming, whatever it is, take it with you to the gym. It's got a nice carry handle. Keep you hydrated throughout the day, baby. This Wolfpack shop. We also got all the t-shirts, the way better tees, all sorts of stuff. We got tank tops up on the shop as well. We got also some coffee mugs. Hey, you picked up some Madrinas. You need a new mug for your Madrinas coffee. You want a way better mug, cracked and jacked. Maybe some of our emotes up in the shop. All sorts of hats. All sorts of attire over there on the shop.